The footage begins with a high-speed pursuit as a Ukrainian FPV unit tracks a Russian military vehicle navigating rough terrain. The drone closes the gap with remarkable speed, displaying absolute precision. Within seconds, it makes contact. The payload detonates, effectively disabling the heavy armor and turning a distinct military asset into a static loss for the opposing side. In this next clip, we observe two Russian combatants who identify an incoming drone. In a moment of sheer desperation and confusion, one individual attempts an improvised defense, throwing his personal weapon at the aerial threat. It is a futile gesture. The equipment hits the ground harmlessly, while the drone maintains its trajectory. This error in judgment leads to an inevitable conclusion. His counterpart attempts a kinetic defense, firing wildly at the fast-moving object, but the velocity is too great. The operator completes the engagement with calculated efficiency. Moving on, aerial reconnaissance identifies a motorcycle transporting logistics, likely essential supplies for the front lines. The operator wastes no time. Accelerating towards the objective, the drone delivers a precise hit, disrupting the supply chain. The transport is neutralized, ensuring those materials never reach their intended destination. Here, we observe a Russian infantryman attempting to evade detection. He initiates a frantic retreat, utilizing the tree line and natural cover to break the line of sight. He moves from cover to cover, attempting to outmaneuver the operator above. However, the surveillance capabilities are too persistent. After a prolonged tracking period through the forest, the drone closes the distance. The pursuit concludes as the operator successfully engages the target. Later, a different drone traverses the same sector, passing over the aftermath of previous engagements. This highlights a recurring theme. Operators frequently return to active zones to find evidence of earlier effective strikes. Whether adversaries are entrenching, moving across open ground, or utilizing vehicles, the consistency of these aerial operations remains a constant pressure on the invading forces. As this compilation demonstrates, personnel are being engaged across various scenarios. Some are intercepted while moving at speed. Others are targeted while attempting to secure cover or return fire. Regardless of the tactic used on the ground, the technological advantage of the FPV system typically yields the same result. Next, observe this unusual interaction where a soldier appears to signal the drone, perhaps out of resignation or sheer confusion. It is unclear if this is a surrender attempt or a lack of situational awareness. However, the operator treats the target as a valid threat and proceeds with the mission. The engagement is finalized immediately, ending the standoff. It is important to remember that many of these individuals are mobilized personnel, following directives from a leadership in Moscow that continues to push forward with this invasion. While they are following orders, they represent an active threat to Ukrainian sovereignty, homes, and citizens. Consequently, Ukrainian defenders utilize these systems to neutralize that threat. It is a harsh cycle necessitated by the geopolitical ambitions of the Russian leadership. In this sequence, an operator identifies a two-man team and guides the drone into the most exposed section of their position. It is a textbook strike, showcasing the high skill level of the pilot. We have seen countless examples of personnel emerging from dense vegetation, only to realize they are being tracked when it is too late to react. These platforms operate with a low acoustic signature, striking before defensive measures can be taken. Attempts to utilize foliage for concealment offer little protection against modern aerial surveillance. The technology penetrates these visual barriers, and the operators are experts at identifying camouflaged positions. Look at this sequence near the electrical infrastructure. The soldier manages to land hits on the drone, actually damaging one of its rotors, a rare occurrence under pressure. However, the system's resilience is shocking. Despite the damage, the drone remains stable enough to complete its terminal dive. Both the technology and the operator display an unyielding drive to finish the objective. This technology has fundamentally shifted the paradigm of modern combat. Its efficiency has rewritten the rulebook on how territory is defended. Here, the soldier is caught in a moment of vulnerability, unaware that his position has been compromised. The surveillance is constant, and the engagement is instant. In this environment, situational awareness is the difference between safety and neutralization. These systems provide a complete top-down view of the battle space. When the sun sets, thermal and night vision capabilities turn darkness into an operational asset. Russian forces have attempted every countermeasure available: bunkers, tunnels, dense camouflage, and electronic interference. Yet finding a truly safe harbor from this aerial pressure proves nearly impossible. Even routine movements across the field can result in an interception. The goal of sharing this footage is transparency. It serves as a window into the reality of the front lines for Russian families. The hope is that by seeing the actual conditions and the high probability of loss, they will advocate against deployment and pressure their leadership for a cessation of hostilities. The reality on the ground contradicts the official narrative often presented to the Russian leadership. While generals may present maps of progress and fabricated success rates, the open-source intelligence provided by these drone videos tells the true story. The evidence of the war's actual trajectory is digital and undeniable. This section highlights the economic asymmetry of the conflict. We see drones costing a few $100s, dismantling T-55s, T-90Ms, and various armored carriers worth millions. This is an economic disaster for the invading force. They are witnessing a systematic dismantling of their heavy assets, vehicle by vehicle. Ukraine is effectively degrading the combat potential of the occupying force, setting the stage to reclaim its territory. The momentum is visible, and the data is hard to dispute. Please like and subscribe to stay updated on the developments of this conflict. All clips shown are from January 2026, representing the current state of the front. By engaging with this channel, you help the truth reach a wider audience. The era of conventional large-scale maneuvers is evolving into the age of the drone. Ukraine is at the forefront of this evolution, utilizing innovation to defend its borders with unwavering resolve. This is the face of 21st century defense. It is what happens when necessity drives adaptation. This is the documentation of Ukraine's resistance. Daily, operators begin their shift, scanning sectors for threats. These pilots are specialists in precision warfare, guiding their units through interference and adverse weather to maintain the defensive line. The psychological effect on the opposing force is massive. The knowledge that a silent aerial threat could arrive at any second degrades morale faster than any artillery ever could. Despite attempts to utilize electronic warfare jammers and anti-drone protocols, the sheer volume and speed of the FPVs overwhelm these defenses. Adaptations in troop movement are consistently countered by the adaptability of the Ukrainian pilots. The effectiveness lies in the operators, pilots who spend countless hours in simulators and active operations, learning to predict enemy behavior. They analyze every flight to increase their success rate. This cost-effective strategy is being studied by militaries globally. The realization that heavy armor is vulnerable to low-cost technology is forcing a rewrite of military doctrine. But beyond the tactics, this is about protection. Every vehicle stopped is a threat removed from Ukrainian cities. These drones serve as a shield for the nation. The world is observing as Ukraine defines the future of combat. When sovereignty is fully restored, the strategies developed here will influence defense policies for decades to come. Remember what you witnessed today. Innovation and spirit can neutralize superior numbers. A nation defending its home will always adapt to win. Ukraine's defense remains absolute until full territorial integrity is restored.